following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
One of the goals that I had for BS sessions and Time to BS as a whole was to give people a place for comfort, speak what's on their mind, sports talk, life talk, bullshit, music, whatever. So my whole point of this journey, 5 years into it, almost 5 years in, was to give it, as I said before, a comfort zone. Hence BS sessions, which is a one-on-one conversation, sometimes one-on-two, sometimes four people. Where we just bullshit around, talk what's on our mind, and have ourselves a good time. So, that being said, we are both in character. Well, you're in character. I'm just, I have a real chain and, somewhat nicer sunglasses. But
sunglasses you didn't get from a fucking dollar store for $3. I have two pairs for $3 and $5 chain from Party City.
Party City. Wow, what a throwback there. But yes, joining me for volume 37 of BS Sessions, part of Time to BS podcast, the great and powerful, the New Jersey native, the undercover brother himself, member of the Bromigos Podcast, the Mysh man. Matt Mysh, how you doing, bro?
Pump your fists if you feel me. Holler if you hear me. Undercover brother in the motherfucking house. Now, for those of you that... Fuck you, okay? I don't give a shit how many people.
I'm just kidding. Me. I had to have fun with that sound. I had to have fun with that sound, bro.
So you saw that video on the Bromigos account.
Yes,
and you know that Panama and Daint do not like that at all. And I don't give a fuck. I don't do it on the show, but I'll do it for guest spots.
It's you, bro. That's who you are. That's the thing. Just embrace it.
I'm just a white, goofy motherfucker.
From fucking New Jersey.
From fucking New Jersey. That's what I am. And I don't care what anybody has to say about it.
This is a very interesting character that you have brought out into the fold here. I still love titties, but I used to love titties. If you remember, I used to be I do.
So that was a good time for a little while.
It was a fun time. It very much was. But yeah, this is a very interesting request that I brought into you, that we both get ourselves into character.
Well, I was going to come into character anyway.
Oh, you were? I didn't know this.
Oh, trust me when I tell you. This is the third guest spot I've done this week, right? No. So my buddies over at the Wait What podcast trio, I was in character for. I was with my buddies, the TNA podcast. They recorded with me last night. Both sessions, by the way, went about one went about 3, the other one almost went like 3.5, 4. So it was a long fucking time for those recordings. And I'm just sitting here looking exactly like this.
This will be fun. I will.
Yes, it will.
It's
always good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you too, bro. It's always good to hear from you. It's always good to bullshit around with, anyone of the indie podcasting community.
Because that's all we are. We're not like big famous people that just start a podcast and instantly gain tens of thousands of views. We have to start from the bottom and get somewhere in at least the low hundreds to feel good about ourselves.
I feel like we're thinking too hard with this whole thing. A lot of people in the community think too hard with this whole thing. The best piece of advice I've ever received with starting a podcast is to not be Joe Rogan. Just be you.
Yes.
Shout out to Jared over the corner booth.
I've had so many people tell me that same specific advice that I can't even name you a name. Maybe Jody B from Po Boys. That's about it.
He's great. I had him on for BS sessions like some time ago.
I forgot you did, and I just remembered that now that you say that, and I have to listen to it now because I'm like, fuck, I forgot Jody B did that.
Yeah,
but he was actually, fun fact about him, he was actually my first podcast friend. One of my first podcast friends.
No shit.
Him and Delvin Cox. I always say this. Him and Delvin Cox are my first two friends in podcasting.
No shit.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah, they kind of took me under their wing and made me who I am today in the podcast community.
But that's one of the questions I was going to ask you to start things off. Is like, who is the Mysh Man? Like, who are you as
Fuck.
a person? Like, oh, we're going way deep down, bro.
Oh, why do you were asking a deep question, and I don't know. Sometimes my mental you ask that question when I'm fuck. I'm sorry, I can't find the words.
That's it, bro. You're good.
I feel as though if you had asked me this question several months ago, I would give you a completely different answer. That's the weird part. Like who is the Mysh man? Who is the undercover brother? The undercover brother is just a guy. I'm a humble guy, so I'm like I am just a guy who works hard, tries to be entertaining, and is, depending on who you ask, for the most part, as far as I know, relatively liked amongst circles in the community.
Yeah.
That's really, and that's not to toot my own horn. That's just like what everybody tells me. I was on, like I said, I was talking to my boys, the TNA podcast. They love me. Wait, what? Wouldn't have me on for 5 fucking episodes if they didn't like me. A lot. Jody B has had me on countless times. Delvin's had me on his show more times than I like to admit. So I'm just a guy making his rounds and also doing his own thing with the Bromigos podcast, and trying to get us a bigger platform and a better reputation. A bigger reputation.
Yeah. And you're doing great, man. You're doing, all 4 of you are doing what you guys do best, is just being your genuine selves, and that's probably what you can do the best.
Well, that's the thing with this show, because we're so different. We're all completely different people. Mike, aka Panama Red, is the oldest of us all at like 38, 39, or almost 39. I'm the second oldest, and I'm pale as fuck. You can see I look like the fucking glue that you ate in elementary school or preschool even. Hunter's the next guy. He's like the dark horse of the bunch. He doesn't say a whole lot of the time, but when he does, it's fucking funny. And then Dante, the Hoochie Man. And then Dante, aka Daint Money, he's like the outspoken brother of us all. He's in his words, not mine. He's young, black, and opinionated. And he's not afraid to fucking hurt feelings.
I don't blame him at all. Sometimes you got to piss people off in order to get your point across.
If you go on our Buzzsprout site and you go to like the host bios and shit like that, that's literally like the first sentence of his fucking.
Oh, good lord!
Thing. It's I'm America's worst nightmare, young, black, and opinionated.
That's beautiful. I love that.
But that's the thing. Like all of our personalities are just so different from one another. It's actually insane. And I think that's why our dynamic works so well, is because we're all different, but because we all get along, which you wouldn't think people of that kind of background would work, but it does somehow, some way. Granted, we don't always agree on certain topics of things and certain discussions, but we show respect to one another's opinions to the best of our ability, unless they say something fucking egregious, which rarely happens, but sometimes.
It's hurting my eyes. I had to take the glasses off. It's hurting my eyes a little bit.
The glasses are. Oh, so now I'm the only one with the actual gimmick now, huh? I'm the only one with the actual gimmick.
Wait.
But that's all I have to say on that particular subject. I don't know if you have anything to interject with that. I'm sure you've heard the show.
No, of course I have. I've listened to you guys on spurs from time to time when I get the chance. Like, oh, listen to Bromigos. Like, oh, listen to Mike's podcast. Speaking of, what's up, Mike?
Oh yeah, I haven't spoken to Mike in a long time.
You two got to get on. You two got to get on his.
I was on his show before. Oh God, like 2 years ago, almost. Holy fucking shit! It's been a long time.
He's kicking it. He's kicking it good.
Good for him. Good.
Yeah,
for him.
he's doing great. Seriously. There's not, out of everyone that has been on Time to BS, he started out on here.
Okay. He started out on here. Okay.
He started out on Time. Well, the original plan. Well, not the original plan. The original starting point was he was on the previous incarnation of the show, the Sports Cave. It lasted for 43 episodes. He was a guest on there. That was when I did the podcast from my phone, of all things. So yeah, we've come a long way. It's about 2 years, says Mike. But and then after 43 episodes, I rebranded into Time to BS because I didn't want to be ESPN Radio. I wanted to be Dan Le Batard. That's probably the best example I could put up with that. But and then it became Time to BS, and then Mike went on to do his own thing. He still comes on. Of course he does. He comes on. I go on. I was just on his show last night. But yeah, he came up with the Air Raid Attack podcast. He was on Time to BS as a recurring guest, recurring co-host, the whole 9 yards. And he's doing his own thing, and he's killing it. He's killing it. I could be happy for him.
Well, good for him. Like I said, it's been a few years. The last time I spoke to him, my old podcast was on a hiatus, and I think I was doing a round of guest spots. I did like 8 or 9 guest spots in like a 3-ish month period, maybe a little less. And he was one of the shows I hopped on with, I believe, and it was a good time. It was a good time. We gotta work on something again, Mike. We gotta work together again. That'd be something.
Shoot his ass a DM, one of you.
Yeah, I hate reaching out first. That's the other thing. That's the one thing about me is like there's people I wish I could reach out to for the show. Like I know you and I have talked a bunch of times about like having you on Bromigos, and I if everyone's schedules could align, I would make it happen.
Of course,
because the worst part about this, if Panama wasn't in fucking Germany, if he wasn't living in Germany right now, my life would be exponentially easier.
I didn't know that.
He's been in Germany since last February or March.
No kidding.
He moved back actually. He used to live in Germany, I guess after his time in the army, and he has a kid over there, and then he came back to Jersey for a few years. This is how I met him. And then he went back February or March. Yeah.
Panama Red, if you're listening or watching, thank you for your service, my brother.
Always loved the Panama Red. He's told some pretty good stories. He doesn't get into the army stuff much, but he mentions it. He mentions it every now and again, but he doesn't talk about it a whole lot. I know he and I have had conversations when he was in Jersey, when I was hanging out at his place. And he would tell me stories about some stuff, but he's told me some wild fucking stories.
Can't necessarily blame him. Can't necessarily blame him for that at all.
Yeah.
But you went through a bit of a self-reflection period. I guess that'd be the best way to put it. I'm gonna give you the floor for you to be as brutally honest as possible if you want. But as I said before, this is the peaceful dojo. This is a comfort zone. Whatever you want to get off your mind, go for it, bro.
I don't know where to start. I'm assuming you're referencing the Delvin episode I did recently, right? The one I did last week on the mental health?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that that's where we're going with, because that's where I can jump off of. Okay. I don't know where to begin with that. Honestly, I feel like, and I've said this, there's a lot of stuff I said in that episode that I'm happy that I did get it off my chest, but there was so much more that I wish I could have said sometimes. And
you're in the right place, bro.
Oh man. It's rough because it's some dark shit though. I want to be entertaining. I want to be for the people. I want to be entertaining. I want to show them my personality, but I start talking about the dark shit. I don't want to dumb the episode down,
Nah, dude, seriously. You know how many times I've told my story?
Well, yeah, you know what?
You're right.
You're right, because you and I have had similar experiences. I forget how old you are. You're 20.
I'm turning 27 in October, so.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so you're actually a few months younger than I am. I'll be 27 in June. So you and I kind of have similar experiences. I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah.
So, let's put it this way. The long and short of it is 2023 might have been among the worst year of my life. Hands down, bar none. Between feeling stuck in the industry that I loved and a job that I liked but wanted to move on from to find other positions in the company I was working for. I don't know if I mentioned losing my grandmother. That was another one that happened in March. That's coming up on a year now, which is gonna be a little rough. But it kind of all up to that point in the summer, it kind of all culminated into like a fucking ball of just stress, anger, self-hatred, inadequacy is the term I use. And I just decided this one day at work, I decided to say fuck it and say sayonara to the world. And that's my nice way of saying, you know what I'm trying to say. And that from that point, my life proceeded to go down an even further downward spiral because I firmly believe that that particular instance, which I confided to a therapist that was provided by my job, I believe confiding about that particular day got me fired from said job. And I will not name the company. And I cannot confirm or deny that this is the reason, but New Jersey is an at-will state. And I have no reason to believe that that wasn't the case. Because they haven't said anything about it. And they were very, very vague with my reasoning for letting me go, despite probably being one of the best employees that they had at that time. So they chucked me to the side, and after I was trying to heal from their resources, again, this is what I believe. And I tried again, which was another issue in itself. Okay. And then some other issues came up, which I'm not going to disclose.
You're good.
But I know you know what I'm referencing.
Yes.
And that didn't help me either. And those particular instances, I don't want to talk about any further. Anything that you need to know, listen to Delvin's episodes on it, because he was the guy that took me under to talk about it. And this is no disrespect to you. I just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Of course, bro.
No,
seriously. Whatever happened at that particular moment, that is your personal business. I don't need to get involved. I don't need for you to open up that jar of worms. That is your personal business, bro. And
I appreciate the fact that you respect that.
I can't force any uncomfortable, fat, uncomfortable route upon anyone. So you're good with that, bro.
Yeah. So basically from the summer up until the holidays was a very rough time because it was just one thing after another for me. Yeah, there was some highlights here and there, but there wasn't like enough to keep me here, But there have been some people both in podcasting, and they know who they are, so I don't want to name names because I will forget. And then there are other people who I just kind of met along the way in this whole fucked up endeavor that is my life. And they helped me, or at least have been an instrumental part in helping me heal. Part of that healing does come from that Delvin Cox episode, because I'm not going to lie, I was there was a small part of me, not a large part, but it was a very tiny part of me that wanted to tell Delvin, I can't have you release that. I don't know what's going to happen. And after that released, and I got all the feedback from it, and it's been a week since, at the time of this recording anyway, that episode came out, and everything and everybody has said such positive things about it. And I was so perplexed, because I am my own biggest critic. There is not a person alive that hates themselves more than me, because I strive for perfection in everything I do. And when I don't get that, I fucking hate myself. Right. You know what I mean?
Don't do that, man. I'll tell you straight up. I agree one way to another. Yeah. The best way to put it is that my grandmother, God bless her soul, my grandmother, who's Irish, born from Queens, the whole 9 yards, she would tell all of her grandchildren the same thing. Why are you trying so hard to be perfect? No one in this world is perfect. Even God himself ain't perfect. He made your ass. See my point? Exactly.
That's a good point. Shout out to your grandma for that one.
May she rest in peace. Grandma Rose right there.
I'm gonna steal that if you don't mind, by the way.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah, man. That was like one of the first, or among one of the things that have been helping me start my healing process of the previous year, because it was rough, man. And I know a lot of people too that were going through a rough time that year too. I have a friend, I won't name her name, But I think you might know who I'm talking about because we follow her on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think I know. Do you think I know I'm talking about? I'm not going to name names, but
no, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, if you think and I think we might be on the same wavelength. But like
Yes.
her and I became friends through this type of shit, having these discussions, and she was an integral, whether she knows it or not, she was an integral part of that whole thing for me. I'm not gonna lie. And hope she doesn't hear this. That'd be a little awkward of a conversation.
Nah, man,
but
bro.
but yeah, it's been a very unique week since that whole thing, because I feel like a weight got lifted off my shoulders once I started seeing everybody's reactions to everything. I've had like I said, I've had you came to me to have this discussion on your show. TNA asked me to do some stuff with them and talk about that episode. I have like 2 other potential guest spots I'm going to be doing within the next couple of weeks that want to talk about this. And it's you know what, I won't deny to you, it's a little overwhelming. I'm a little,
of course,
overwhelmed with the response to everything.
Of course. I mean, I can speak from personal experience, from someone who has been through a very similar situation that you have been through.
And I'm glad you're here, by the way. If I hadn't said that already.
Likewise, bro. Likewise. Hey, listen, you're the most important person in your life. Think about that. There's only one you.
If you had said that to me like 4 or 5 months ago, I would have said bullshit, but I'll believe you.
I mean, I made this entire saying on Instagram. The sword and the anvil, the hammer and the anvil.
Mm-hmm.
Where the 2 biggest teachers in life are failure and pain. The hammers
cry on me, are you?
No, I had a frog in my throat.
Because if you can start crying, I'm gonna start crying. Fuck you for making me cry.
No, I've had a frog in my throat all week, so
okay,
all good. Hence why I'm drinking tea. But so the saying goes, the hammer's representation is pain, and the anvil's representation is failure. Those are the 2 most important teachers in life. Whether you want to admit it, whether you want to fight it or not, that's the truth. And when you start off in your life, you start off as this tiny little piece of steel right here.
Okay. And
your job is to forge that piece of steel into whatever sword you want to become. Now, as we both know, sometimes your sword will crack. Hell, it may even break. That sword will break and that sword will get cracked. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And that is a harsh reality. Don't cry me, bro.
No, I wasn't crying. I was
frog in your throat now?
A little bit.
Yeah, you're good, bro. And then when that happens, when your sword cracks or eventually even breaks, what do?
You reforge it.
You fix it. Exactly.
Yeah, because you can always, if it breaks, you can always go back and reforge it.
Or you can make it better.
Or you make it better, yeah.
Exactly. Now, to heat up your steel, you need fire. Fire's representation is the aforementioned rage. Or in this case, anger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we heat up that sword, it'll mold itself into the shape we want to become. And then you eventually got to cool it off. You got to quench that bucket. You got to quench bucket. You got to cool it off.
Yeah.
That is represented by sadness. When we're angry, we immediately get sad as we feel this weight of regret. We feel this weight of pain. And it hurts. It does. I speak from personal experience. I had a bit of an anger problem back in high school, and I would get into who didn't. And I got into a few fights in high school, especially in lacrosse and in football. And it's some things I regret, but some things I look at and say, you know what? It made me into a better human being. But the point I'm trying to say is that these things, whether you like it or not, have got to happen in order to forge your sword into the weapon you want to become.
That's a phenomenal analogy. I have never heard that before. I don't know where you got that from, or if you came up with it yourself, or heard it, or read it somewhere. That is a phenomenal analogy.
I like to toot my own horn. I came up with it myself. It helps when you're a welder for a career.
Well, I was going to say, I forget. It was like I forget you're like a welder or something. So like
Yeah.
you have a knowledge of stuff like this, and that actually literally makes a whole lot of sense to me. It does. And all the comparisons with the fire and the water, that spoke to me. That hit me. I'm not gonna lie.
Appreciate that, bro.
I had to think about that. I was like, holy fuck, he's right.
Well, I could also speak from more experience. I mean, when you're at your lowest point, you're open to the greatest of change. And I've told my story on socials 1,000 times, but I'll tell it again. I was at one point 340 pounds.
You look great, by the way.
Thanks, man. I was physically and mentally dying. And there was at one point in my life, right? I basically said, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I decided to get my ass on the train to change. So started at the gym, kept working my ass off, changed my diet. And the thing we don't look into is how did we get ourselves to this point? Not as a part of like self-loathing or trashing ourselves, but more of like a teaching moment. Like, okay, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to do it that way. And you can do it. You can do that. It's gonna hurt. I can tell you first, it's gonna suck.
Oh, I know it sucks. Oh, trust me, I know.
You're gonna feel it. And there will be times where you're gonna want to feel like you have to quit. And I'm gonna get really fucking deep.
Please do.
There is a lot of people in this world that would miss you, that would miss me, if you decided to go down that path. And I can tell you for a fact that family, friends, podcast community, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the hell, it could be your pet squirrel outside. I don't kink shame here. But but like seriously, I mean, think about the people that that would feel the pain of you being gone. And that's one way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
But you now see through your self-reflection, through your, I guess the word would be painful experiences that you have been through in your life, that you can now go and say, all right, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I want to change my life. Mm-hmm. And you can do that. You very well can do that.
Well, it's funny I mentioned the whole like everybody's gonna miss you thing, because for the longest time I didn't fucking believe that.
Oh, of course. I didn't either.
I rationalized that by saying I'd be better off not being here so that these people's lives could probably be better. It wasn't until all the feedback I got and having a lot of conversations with a lot of different people, even during my roughest times, where I'm like, you actually love me? You actually care and want me to be here? I was like stunned. I was like, holy fuck, these people like me.
What is this bullshit? I don't know what this is.
What is this fucking feeling in my chest that I'm like, happiness? What is that? I haven't felt that in a while.
Why is my ass tingling? I don't know.
Well, that might be, it might have been something that happened the night before that you don't remember, and you might have been a little bit too intoxicated. You don't get it, do you?
No, I do.
Okay, you went silent. I was like, oh, fuck, I made a bad joke.
I'm a Penn State fan. It's fine.
Oh, you're used to getting fucked in the ass. Don't worry.
Oh, well done. Very well done. Very well done.
Go Rutgers, bitch.
Oh, it's fine.
It's so I think about that, and I was that's where a lot of the whole like moving, like the whole like how I felt so moved over the course of like that day of that episode releasing, because like again it was only a week ago, but I remember it vividly where it was just like I remember being so moved that everybody felt that way about me, and having conversations with other people from that. I was in shock. Because I
Yeah.
didn't think, I mean, and I'm not even just talking about like podcasting, like friends reached out to me about it.
Yeah.
Like people, I sent it to a lot of different people, and maybe whether or not some of them listen to it or not is up to them. I wasn't going to force anybody. I had people fucking call me crying. I'm like, Jesus, Matt, what did you do to me? I'm just like, I warned you. You're gonna cry.
I warned you, damn it.
I warned you, man. Or like, so that was that. Yeah, but I mean, I see what you're saying. Like for the longest time, I didn't think anybody was going to give a fuck. You
And how you were
think
proven
about,
wrong.
well, yeah, and then obviously in the regards, like on the train to change, as you call it. Therapy was a part of that for me too. I go to therapy now. I hadn't gone to therapy since I was in high school because at the time I didn't really need it anymore. I was moving on from what I was doing. I was moving on from like those feelings and such. And then, obviously all that shit happens in the last year. And I was like, fuck, I got to go back. Like, it was like a lot of people won't admit that they have a problem, but like I was like one of the people that was like, fuck, I got to go back.
And there's nothing wrong with admitting failure. There's nothing wrong with admitting that, hey, you messed up and that you can fix it.
I don't even know if I'd call it a failure, though. See, it's weird when we say failure, because I don't know. I think of failure in different ways, I guess, maybe compared to you. Because like failure to me was maybe not succeeding in those attempts, right?
Can Jedi Master Bro Yoda get involved here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Failure is the most important. Failure is one of the two most important teachers. Just because we fail at something doesn't mean we fucked up forever.
But you know something? You know what's really fucked up though? Like, because I hate failure. That's the problem.
Who doesn't like failure?
So it's like I would get a C in school when I was younger, and I'd be fucking upset, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had like a test or a project or something. I was like, what? I thought I did so good. Like, I'd be upset. I'd be really upset with that. I couldn't fathom that sort of idea of getting anything less than a B. So, like, I guess that's where it kind of started for me. But it's just like, at the time, I thought I had failed at life. So I was like, why if I failed at life, why the fuck am I still here? Right?
You probably set way too high of expectations of yourself as a child. Did you?
Yes, I did. Maybe not even as a child. Fucking now, I set too
join
high
the club. Dude,
yeah.
the hell I'm gonna get real with you. The hell are you doing? The hell are you doing setting expectations for yourself that high?
I just, you know what? I thought and this
kind of question.
This kind of comes back to the inadequacy I felt when I was doing that job, right? Where it's like I thought I wouldn't be here doing fucking promotions for a radio station for nearly a year at this point. I thought I'd be at least doing something else if the company had positions to hire for, or at least have other companies that I could apply to that could maybe give me a position. And neither was true at that time. So it made me feel insecure about my own abilities to do anything. You know, like, am I really as good as I think I am?
I hear you with that part. I do. We feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
We feel that way. We feel that way that we're bigger than what we think we are, or than what we truly are. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
And I don't even think it's arrogance. To me, it's not arrogance. Like, some people might take it as arrogance or cockiness, but it's just like, I know that there are things I can bring to the table that are helpful, and I have tried like giving input to people that matter within that company at that time. And it's like, here's something I think that we can do. And I would hear them say, I've been trying to get them to do this for years. And I'm like, well, at least I know I'm on the same wavelength with this person, that person about certain things. It's just a matter of wanting to do it or them getting to do it. And then I'm gone. Where the fuck do I go from here? So, and now I just kind of, wonder what's going to happen next. Well, trying to look for positions, but finding positions in my line of work, which is radio broadcasting, things of that nature, and audio, really radio broadcasting in general, and in the industry in general is hard enough as it is, because it's
it's terrible.
It's terrible. It's the worst. It's an industry that you won't get a position unless someone retires or dies. That's what it's like. And that's
literally,
that's not to persuade anybody from not trying, because there's other avenues within that you can attempt to do. But as far as like getting an on-air position, you better hope somebody fucking dies. And I don't mean to say that, in a mean way. It's just like, that's just the way it is. Or hope someone retires by the time that you feel like you're good enough to be on air. So,
hell, look at our field. Look at the field that we're currently doing.
Yeah, well, podcasting is a part of that, but the problem is people hijack it, and like I mentioned, I made the joke earlier where it's like, we're the indie podcasters, quote unquote. We're not the already millions of followers celebrity that starts a podcast, does it for maybe 3-4 months, and then fucks off because they made their money and they don't want to do it anymore. We're the guys that actually go out and struggle and have to hustle to make people want to listen to us. And that's not a bad thing. I've been doing this you've been doing it for 5 years, you said?
Close to 5 years.
Close to 5 years. I've been doing it for almost October would mark my 4th year. So I am not unfamiliar with that struggle, but at the same time, it makes me feel some type of way when you think you're putting out a good product on things that you're doing, or you're giving people a good product for their content, like I am here today with you. And it's like, you want everybody to succeed, but not everyone's going to succeed. And that's the shitty reality of it all. There's very few shows that I know of that have a relatively decent following, that I don't know how much they actually make money off of, but they definitely are doing more than, say, anything I'm doing, and possibly anything you're doing, or anything anyone else is doing, especially people just starting out within the last year or so. Everybody thinks it's so fucking easy until they start doing it.
I feel like you would like Patrice O'Neal.
What do you mean?
So the late great Patrice O'Neal was a comedian born over in New York.
Okay.
Panama might know who he is.
I'm sure I know Panama's old ass is going to know who he is.
I guarantee you. No, I guarantee you. If you text Panama right now and say, "Do you know Patrice O'Neal?" He'll go, "That fat ass motherfucker." Because Patrice O'Neal was, well, the best way to describe Patrice O'Neal is a funnier, fatter Andrew Tate. That's probably the best way I could put it.
Even with all the alpha male bro talk.
No, not that part. But he was real. He was real talk. He'll give you the honest, his God honest opinion on you as a person, on me as a person, on anyone that calls into his radio show. Opie and Anthony. Do you remember them?
I know. I mean, I never listened to them, but I know them. Obviously, I know the name. Who doesn't know the name? It was the Shock era.
They were. He was a recurring guest on Opie and Anthony when he was around.
Okay.
But if you go to YouTube and just type in the Black Phillip Show, Patrice O'Neal, it's 12 episodes and it's 3 hours. Just listen in the car. It's great.
Okay.
But one of the things that he teaches is just be honest with yourself. Stop trying to, I wouldn't say stop trying, but like, don't think of it as you're trying to be, Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm. And I don't, believe me.
Be Matt Mysh.
Yeah. Be the undercover
Be Daniel Smooth. Exactly. Yeah. It sucks because as we said, we are the indie podcast community. But at the same point, we are such a massive community of stupidity and bullshit that we got each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
We do. And like Mike in the chat can speak to this as well. He has a pretty good following of indie podcasters, Herb and Raj. I mean, you guys, the Bromigos. I mean, the Bleach Bros when they were doing their thing. I mean,
God, I missed them so much.
oh,
B Word and I were just talking. He wants to do a show with me for one of his solo projects that he does. I missed. That's a show that I miss terribly.
I'll throw another one in there. The Society of Scoundrels was an early edition of BS Sessions back in the early days of BS Sessions, and we are a tight-knit community that is all trying to be the same thing. We're all trying to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And it does suck from time to time, and you occasionally think, why the hell am I doing this? And then you remember, oh yeah, I love doing what I'm doing. Even if I don't get paid for it or get paid it or barely get paid for it, we still do what we love to do. Do you go to the gym at all?
All the time.
Good. That was good. Good.
There are days where I can't make it. And for instance, last week I was rotting in bed for 3 days, basically 3 days straight. Because I just was so crippled by sadness, anxiety, depression, and all of that such that I didn't even go to the gym. I didn't even eat. So I supplemented not going to the gym by not eating. Because me and my genetic makeup, my brother and my sister have all the good genes in the family where it's like they eat and they don't fucking gain weight.
I hate that shit.
That's
my sister.
I eat a salad and I'll gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's like how I feel. I have all those fucking terrible genes that got worked out as the bloodline continued, right?
That's my sister.
Oh yeah, lucky her, right?
That's my sister, yeah.
So, that's what I did, and it's not great. It's not healthy. I know it's not healthy. Scientifically proven that it's not healthy.
I'll tell you right now, it's not.
That's the shit that's the type of stuff I do. But when I do go to the gym, it's good. I have a good time. It's not supposed to be fun. Going to the gym is not supposed to be fun, by the way, everybody. You're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to be in pain. You're supposed to be uncomfortable, in my opinion.
Shout out to my gym, South Shore Iron over in Patchogue, Long Island. They have the basement of the gym is well renowned throughout the Gym Bros community here on Long Island, called the Dungeon, and is exactly as you think it would be. Not that part. But
just like fucking, I bet you there's a bunch of needles around though.
No, I mean it's Patchogue is that way, but like back 20 years ago it was, but
okay.
But the Dungeon is bodybuilder heaven.
Ooh.
It's nice.
I'm sure.
It's nice. And then you got the upstairs portion of the gym, which is, I call it the dojo, and it's quiet. There's like turf in there. There's mats in there. There's wrestling mats in there.
There's probably a ton of cardio equipment.
Oh yeah. The entire area is calisthenics. But I was going somewhere with this. The train of thought has left the station as it seems, but daily occurrence for me. But
you're basically saying it's like going to the gym is basically like a way of exercising like the mind, body, and spirit type of thing. Your head. Yeah.
It's more important for your head.
Yeah. Honestly, half the battle is just getting to the gym, though. That's the other thing. Half the battle, once you're at the gym, you go. Like you're in the parking lot. You're not talking yourself out of it at that point. You're already there. Get the fuck in.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm just doing cardio, to be honest. And Panama clowns me all the time for this. He's like, "Why are you doing so much cardio? You got to be lifting." But a lot of the times, cardio just kind of helps me clears my head a little bit,
Of course.
Lately, actually, in my cardio sessions, which I've been doing this whole, I guess, in the process of healing and finding myself, I guess, for lack of better terms. The friend I was referencing earlier, and another one of our friends that I've met through the hockey community on Twitter, which is a fucking shithole at times. That's a different story for a different time.
Oh, it's terrible.
We can get into that later. We they started getting me into metalcore music. And I had no fucking
Ooh.
idea how fucking sad metalcore is. Like, you think it's all rah, 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 like that type of stuff. But it's the stuff they're saying is deep as fuck.
Of course.
There's some themes in there that I think to myself, like, how the fuck is the person that wrote this alive? Like,
Who
I
wrote
would
this shit?
like, no, it's not even just who wrote this shit. It's like, how are you alive? You're talking about some deep fucking painful shit right here. Like, I am astounded that you're even walking the earth.
Hell, look at
that's
Creed.
yeah, like they put me on the stuff like I Prevail, Beartooth, Bad Omens. I actually just finished today. That third Bad Omens album is fucking phenomenal, by the way. I just finished that, so that's like what I've been doing. It's like I do cardio for an hour, and I listen to these albums because most of them are about 45 minutes at most. And that's what I listen to. And I just listen to the albums, try to read lyrics if I can, if I have the opportunity to, in case some of the screaming gets a little bit too confusing for me to listen to. Because
Usually
I'm not going to lie. I won't lie. I hate screaming and growling in my music. But as I proceeded to go through this journey, I made a promise to myself and the friends in question that I would have an open mind towards the whole thing. And I have. And there are songs that I like that have the screaming and the growling. And then there are songs that I just can't fucking stand because it's literally all just screaming and growling. There's no substance to anything.
I think you just described the entire rap community today as a whole.
Well, the rap community is a fucking shithole. That's why I listen to nothing past like 2005 most of the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, everybody on Bromigos is like, oh yeah, Matt listens to nothing past 1995. Fuck you. I listen to shit past 2000. I barely listen to anything past 2005. There's a lot of good stuff in the early 2000s. That's great. Even the mid 2000s was great. And then after like 2010, there's nothing for me outside of like maybe an Eminem album or two, which was the Marshall Mathers LP2 album, which honestly disappointed the fuck out of me. So yeah.
Which playlist do you want to hear? My grunge, metal, and hard rock playlist, or the entire rap collection I have? Which would be more appealing to you?
Depends. Who's on the rap. I can guess who's on the rock playlist, but who's on the rap playlist? That's the answer I have to ask.
Do you remember a place called Pumpkin Hill from Sonic Adventure 2?
I never played Sonic Adventure 2.
Google Pumpkin Hill when you get the chance. But
I will.
Yes, it's phenomenal. You know that stinking video of the dancing pumpkin head?
No.
The one that I posted on like Instagram and shit like that?
Oh, maybe. Then I don't know. Now
That's
you ask me to remember things.
That's Pumpkin Hill. Okay, so also Pop Smoke is great for the gym. Nelly, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay, Bone Thugs and Nelly I fuck with.
Outkast, 50 Cent.
Outkast is fine. 50 Cent's fine.
Jay-Z, the entire Will Smith greatest hits album.
But there's not a single F-bomb in any of that.
Oh, you're thinking too hard. By the way, Nas, The Message is phenomenal. If you want a good like storytelling.
Was that on Illmatic or it was written?
It was written.
Okay, I know stuff from Illmatic. I don't know why I never delved into it was written. I don't know why.
Regulators, Nate Dogg and Warren G.
Oh, I mean, Nate Dogg. Anything with Nate Dogg is a fucking go for me. I love Nate Dogg.
Mass Appeal, Gangstar.
Okay, I know Gangstar. I don't know Mass Appeal.
Great song. Great song. Let's see what the hell in this game.
I mean, you give me. Honestly, a lot of my current rap taste was formulated through GTA 5's radio.
Yes,
as pathetic as that sounds. Like when GTA 5 dropped in the early 2010s, a lot of my rap taste was derived. Well, a lot of my rap taste now was derived from the West Coast Classics station, which is
the best era of rap was the 90s.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But like I said, the 2000s had bangers. We are not going to say the 2000s didn't have bangers. I mean, the 2000s gave us the Eminem show. It gave us 50 Cent,
Nelly,
T.I., there were some fucking bangers there. It even gave us some great DMX shit too.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's just
Oh.
I can't listen to any of the rap. My brother listens to a lot of the rap now, and I listen to what he listens to when we're in the car, and I want to jump out the car and just like fucking roll out of there and like why is this stuff a thing?
That's why I listen to the only time I listen to new rap like Pop Smoke is when I'm in the gym. Because then it helps you get like really mad and it helps.
See, like Pop Smoke, I've heard some Pop Smoke stuff where it's like he's not terrible, but he's still like not what I prefer.
No, of course.
To rap. Like honestly, it's really weird because as odd as it sounds, as much as I up until this past summer, I would call myself I called myself a Tupac fan, right? Like I knew all the good hits from him and everything. But then for some strange reason, I decided to listen to the entire Tupac discography. Everything from Tupacalypse Now to Pac's Life was where I listened to. And then I also included Machiavelli, the Machiavelli album. That was an experience. I would say that to some extent, because I was listening to this stuff when I was going through my shit, right? To some extent, that was like really eye-opening for me. Like listening to all that pain, like, you know, you throw on so many tears and I'm just like fucking weeping like a little bitch, right? And then you throw on albums like the entire Strictly for My, can't say that, album, and it's my favorite Tupac album out of the bunch. And it's like Strictly for my my neighbors. That's what I'll call it. Strictly for my neighbors.
Smoke weed every day.
Good call. Yeah. So the white version of this we're going to call is Strictly for My Neighbors. And that album,
smoke weed every day.
I love that sound.
I love it too now. I always love that little ad lib by Nate Dogg. But yeah, so I listened to that album. Then you got stuff like Holler If You Hear Me, which, fun fact, I've been, for the last several months, I have been learning how to rap to Holler If You Hear Me, which is literally, so the people are going to think to yourself, it's just like, so if you know Holler If You Hear Me, it's not a song a white guy should be rapping to. And it's not because there's any N-words or cursing, because there's actually no profanity in the song itself.
Shock of the day.
It's a very pro black song. And for some reason, I don't know why, if it's just the lyrics and how Tupac wrote the song and rapped it and the beats, but for some reason that song, when I turned on that album for the first time on my way to work one day, and I was just like, holy shit, this song's a banger. It's like the first song of the album. I'm like, holy fucking shit, this is phenomenal. And I start, like, you know, and it becomes like something I get so enthralled in that it became my top song on Spotify in like 6 months, right? From like the yearly rap thing. So
there you go.
In 6 months, from like June to December, Holler If You Hear Me became my top song because I listened to it so much. And then like over that time, I'm like, you know what? I like this song, but the words are so fucking hard to keep. I'm picking up every few words, but I haven't actually, like, I don't know the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I started like reading the lyrics as the song plays, and you know, I'm like 95% there. I'm not going to do it on camera, but I'm like 95% there with getting down to Holler If You Hear Me.
There you go. Good shit.
There's a couple of words that are said a little bit too fast that I can't get that tempo for to say the words properly while in that speed, but or not tempo, the cadence, I should say. But I'm almost there. I'm I'm working on it. Like I said, 95% there. It's like it's like a done deal. I don't even give a shit about saying the ad libs in the song. It's just like the verses are what I've been really working on.
You know what you're doing by working on things that you enjoy?
What is that?
You're forging your sword. You're making your sword better. You're making your sword better.
That is 100% true.
That's what you're doing. And there's a few guys I listen to, like not on a regular basis, but like whenever I get, you know, in my head, I'll watch some David Goggins clips. I'll listen to Jocko Willink. I'll listen to Joe Rogan, you know, speak his mind about certain things. Dr. Jordan Peterson, which for some reason, he's getting chastised. Don't know
For?
why. Precisely my point.
Well,
Why
they've been trying to cancel guys like Rogan since he went to Spotify.
Which I'm going to say some things, but it's going to piss so many people off. I don't give a shit. Just because something offends you doesn't make you right. Quote by Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais is a good person to quote in that scenario.
I mean,
And I mean, listen, I don't want to get too much into it, but I have similar stories to that. And even though I don't agree with all of the criticism, I at least understand the criticism and where it's coming from.
yeah.
It's one thing to be. See, here's the thing, and this is how I kind of look at criticism, at least when it comes to certain things that are said on podcasts anyway. If people disagree with things that are said, and then you reach out to them and say, hey, this is why I disagree with you, blah, blah, blah. And someone asks you, not invites to a show or anything, but like asks you, well, why do you feel this way? If I'm wrong about something that's you feel is being very derogatory towards something, why don't you tell me why? And when they reply with, and this is a real quote that I got, by the way, no one's obligated to educate you. Well, then what's the point of you even bothering to reach out?
Yeah.
Because I actually am asking what is wrong that I could fix or anyone could fix for that matter. And you decide not to have that conversation. Now you're just copping out and being outraged for the sake of outrage. At least that's how it comes off to me.
Well,
I've always, if it's one thing that I picked up over the last several months from my buddy Delvin, it's grace and conversation. The ability to show humility and knowing that you could have been wrong about something, but also, and also having those conversations, and the other people should be willing to have those conversations.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's nothing wrong with being hilariously wrong. It's one way to be wrong. It's another thing to not learn something from that.
Yeah, like, and even when it comes to ignorance too, like, there are some times that I could be ignorant about certain things because I maybe just am not educated on the thing, on that subject matter as well as I feel like I should. And when I say I display ignorance and I get a response from someone saying that this is ignorant, and I say, why? Can you help me figure that why? And I don't, and the response is my job isn't to educate you. Then what's the point of you reaching out?
This is what
this is not some alpha bro bullshit. It's literally it's real life. It's called discourse. I believe in
hear
discourse.
Me out.
Yeah.
Or the hear me out part of it. It's like, okay, I will hear you out.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
You're good. No, go for it.
No, I was going to say, like, I have never been an unreasonable person, in my opinion. There are times where I'm stubborn, yes, and there are times where it takes me some time to learn something, but I at least will learn. I at least will listen after like a day or two of me being a stubborn prick. Trust me, if it's any flaw I have, and God bless my mother, I love her to death, but if it's one flaw that she gave me through genetics somehow, it's being a stubborn Italian, well, half Italian in my case, man. And I don't like being wrong, but give me a day or two and explain to me some things and I will listen.
Yeah.
So let me be the stubborn prick for a few days and then let me stew over it. And then let me clear my like take a deep breath, woosah, and then have the conversation. I am not unreasonable. I believe I'm probably one of the easiest people you can get along with. It's just a matter of whether or not I choose to associate or talk to you in that matter or in that particular time. That's just how I think. I believe in discourse, and I've had conversations about it with other people who believe in the same thing, and they feel like the art of discourse has been replaced by outrage.
Yeah, I hear.
And a lot of it is, and I'm not just talking about any specific situation in my case, but like in general, outrage rules the world in this case. And there are some times where outrage is actually needed. Like, for instance,
Oh, of course.
look at the fucking thing with the Canadian junior hockey team. Let's talk a little hockey sports. You got some time for that?
Yes, I do.
Let's look at that. Now, normally, I am a man that believes that due process should take place before passing judgment. But then there are times where I don't believe that shit. And I'd be like, all right, these motherfuckers gotta go.
Look at Vince. Look at the story with Vince McMahon that just came out today.
That broke, and I was doing some errands, and I saw that I got my car, pulled up Twitter for 2 minutes, and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. One after the other, too. It went from the whole day yesterday, which was Wednesday, today? 24th. The 24th Wednesday. It was all about the sexual assault that occurred during the World Juniors tournament or something by the Canadian members of the Canadian hockey team. And a lot of people were telling their stories, and I was reading it, and my heart broke for every single one of them.
Of course.
I know people that told their story, and I know I'm friends with people that told their story, and I just wanted to give them a hug, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm normally a person that I let due process take place before I pass judgment. And I read the facts of what was going on, and I couldn't be, I don't want to say I was silent because I didn't necessarily talk about it on my own personal timeline, but I was angry. I was certainly angry. And I don't say anything when I'm angry, because when I'm angry, I cannot form a rational thought. And rather than act on emotion, I would rather say, damn, that's crazy. I hope this goes well for whoever's involved as far as the victim goes, not the fucking players. They can go fuck themselves. And then we go to today, which is the Vince McMahon thing, and same thing. My heart just fucking breaks, and I can't believe that this is all coming out now.
I was heartbroken, but I was more pissed off when the Vince thing broke. Because
you and I being both wrestling fans, we all thought Vince McMahon was a character. It wasn't a character. He really was a piece of shit.
I was one of the few people that didn't really like Vince because I thought something was up at the same point, and then this whole story broke, and now you got Brock Lesnar involved.
That made me upset.
That hurt.
And you know what sucks balls about that? I feel as though Brock finally built up good rapport with the fans with his last few runs he's had as a babyface and somewhat as a heel with the Cody thing. He finally built up some rapport after feeling like fans felt like he didn't give a shit throughout the entire late 2010s when he was Universal Champion. That hurt.
It hurt.
It sucked. It's terrible. I don't know what to feel. I mean, it's completely. I was looking forward to Royal Rumble this weekend. I'm not even going to be able to see the Rumble. I'll actually be in your neck of the woods for a concert.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'll be in where is it? The Paramount?
Huntington. No shit. That's half hour away.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Huntington for a concert.
No fucking shit.
Yeah, me and a few other people who, again, I won't name. We're all going to get together and we're going to go to a concert, and it's going to be a good old fucking time.
What the hell are you seeing?
Oh shit! Devil Wears Prada is one of the bands who I only know by name. I never listened to any of their shit, so this is going to be an experience for me. And I forgot the other one. Fit for a King. I don't know. I don't know them either.
There's a great group of Long Island rock bands. People think of Long Island as like, oh, we're just beach community and shit. Partially true, but there is the punk rock band, the punk rock era of the early 2000s and the late 90s. Most of it came from here. And
That's
people
a
are like,
bold statement.
Well, most of Taking Back Sunday, there's a few right off the top of my head. That's one of them. But my brain's fried. I can't really think of this right now.
I have fried your brain throughout the course of this conversation. I've achieved my goal of not being able to form a rational thought.
My brain has been fried for a majority of the week because God went. I cast Thunder Spell. Shout out to Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd.
Wait, what are other sounds do I have on here in this department? Oh, let me see here. How much trouble I'm going to get in. There's one. Oh, yeah, the Yoshi button.
Oh, God. Yoshi button. Listen, no Yoshi button beats Panama Red's jail button. Let's be honest.
I have to
people that know Bromigos know the jail button.
I have to get in. I got to find a sound of. There's a clip, Family Guy skit where Peter is teaching magic tricks to the blind community, and he just ends it with "ta-da!" And I'm just gonna get that sound right there.
Yeah, you need that sound. You need that.
I'm gonna get it.
But anyway, we got off track really quick. Back to the Royal Rumble thing. Like this whole thing with the Vince thing has completely like soured the Rumble for me almost. Not that like I'm still not going to enjoy it because the Rumble is always the year that the Rumble is the year that I, sorry, words are hard. I swear I do this professionally, ladies and gentlemen.
Words are hard.
Yeah. The Rumble has always been the event that is the anniversary of when I became a wrestling fan, right? So this would be for 14 years. And I was excited as fuck all week leading up to this Rumble, right? Even though I wasn't going to see it live because I was going to this concert, I was going to watch it on Peacock the next day. This whole Vince thing has like fucking put a bad taste in my mouth about the Rumble.
Yeah. I
am appalled. Even the fucking thing with the Canadian juniors team has made me so appalled that I like the I'm like fucking pissed at the NHL for not doing anything about it sooner. Like, how long has this been going on? Apparently, this has been an ongoing issue for like the better part of like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
I think. Don't quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Oh, let's go to something more exciting, less dark.
Yeah, less dark. But I mean, sometimes these conversations gotta be had because it just pisses me off,
Welcome to BS Sections, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hope you're in for a treat.
We got Matty Mysh here, man. We got the undercover brother. I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers. Great Bernie Mac once said, "Rest in peace."
Just go find Patrice O'Neal and introduce it to Dante. Dante will love Patrice.
I'm sure he already knows Patrice O'Neal. He sends me all this fucking stand-up comedy shit all the time. He'll send me stuff from like, oh God, Ari Spears. He'll send me stuff from.
Wow.
He'll send me shit.
He's old school.
Like obviously, he loves Chappelle, so like we'll send each other Chappelle stuff every now and again. Oh man. Honestly, I will say this much. I love stand-up comedy, but I think TikTok made stand-up comedy easier to digest for me. Because they could hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Sometimes there are sets where the jokes, there are some like they'll tell like a string of really good jokes, and then they'll tell a string of like, subpar jokes in between, or towards the end or something. Yeah. A lot of the times TikTok will take the really good jokes and post them, or the person will take the really good jokes of that set and post them. No one wants to hear like a 30 to 45 hour set of a mix of good and mid and all that stuff. Sometimes it's the journey, but like sometimes there are days when you just want to scroll mindlessly on TikTok and hear Ari Spears start fucking singing the slave song because he's making a joke about whatever. It's just like I listen. As a white guy, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But the other part of me is like, God damn, this is funny.
I hate to interrupt, but I do have breaking news.
What is the breaking news?
Tie game in Montreal. Islanders are playing the Canadians, and they were down 3-0.
Fuck them both. Fuck them both. You and your fucking Islanders. Yes, I know you have that tattoo, but I still fuck the Islanders.
Fuck Pittsburgh.
Fuck Pittsburgh. Wait.
Works every time.
Sorry,
Works every time.
Sorry, Hoochie man. Fuck Pittsburgh. Okay.
Actually, hold on. I can counteract. I can one up this. Fuck the Rangers.
You son of a bitch.
I thought you were. Oh, that's right. You're a Ranger fan. Fuck the Devils.
Okay, fuck the Devils. You redeemed yourself with that one.
Staniel Smith for the win, boys.
Well, we'll give you a half. We'll give you a half a win. Let's put it this way:
Heavies.
you didn't get the full 2 points. I'm going to give you the 1 point in overtime.
That works. That works. But yeah, they were down. I was skeptical about Patrick Waugh when he first came here. I was like, because those Avalanche teams kind of damaged me a little bit. But now Mike is a Devils fan. Yes, Mike. Yes, I can see you, Mike.
Ass.
Titties.
Well, no, they don't get titties. They're just ass.
That too. I don't know, man.
But the Rangers are also kind of ass right now. I can't really talk too much shit. The Rangers had a fantastic start to the season, and for whatever reason, the last 2 months have been really hit or miss. And I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, man.
James Dolan.
By
the way,
that's not really an excuse, because if it was James Dolan, the Knicks would be doing ass too. But the Knicks are doing phenomenal.
The Knicks, by the way, were leading.
You said were. I don't like that.
Hold on. At end of the third quarter, they were leading Denver 98-66.
Holy fucking shit! We're gonna beat the Nuggets. 2:52 left in the fourth. 117-81. The Knicks are gonna beat the Nuggets. Eat a fucking dick, Jokic.
Beautiful. But anyway,
I love Jokic, but still,
no, I love him too. But like James Dolan, but I don't know if you knew this. James Dolan is from out here.
It doesn't surprise me. James Dolan apparently.
Thanks.
Not that I want to bring this up again. Apparently, there was a news story that broke too that James Dolan also sexually harassed or assaulted somebody. He
was with Harvey Weinstein. That's what happened. He's, by the way, from a little town called Massapequa, who, by the way, is home to Alec Baldwin.
So Massapequa has both sexual assaulters or harassers and people who kill other people on movie sets. Okay, got it.
Well, here we go. All right. Massapequa, home of the divorced rich housewife who drives their Mercedes-Benz 20 miles an hour under the speed limit, drinks their way too expensive Starbucks drinks, pocketbook dog, giant-ass sunglasses, fur coat.
Sounds about right.
Big-ass necklaces, and their Long Island medium-ass Karen blonde hair.
Yeah, that's about everything I expect to come out of Long Island. Listen, I have friends that live out there with you, and they hate it. They fucking hate it.
Oh, I hate the people. I love the area, but I hate the people.
Oh yeah, I hear the people are fucking just
because they're miserable. They're miserable with themselves. They're miserable with themselves. They take it on other people.
Could you imagine being rich and miserable though? Couldn't be me.
Nah,
I'd be the happiest motherfucker alive if I was rich. You know how much. If you were rich, you know how fucking happy you'd be. All the problems in your life would be solved. I think.
To quote Jay-Z, more money, more problems.
Actually, that was Biggie. Well, Biggie had a song called
"Shame on Me, I'm Terrible."
Yeah, well, Biggie had a song called "More Money, More Problems." I'm not. Jay-Z could have also used that line.
I'm ashamed. Don't shun me, Panama, please.
No, Panama won't shun you. I will.
Oh, you will, but
I
won't.
How are you not gonna remember the fucking? I don't know what they want from me. It's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. How do you not know that fucking hook, man?
I'm a classic rock guy. I don't remember. I remember it. I remember it. I do.
That's a hit.
I know it is.
It's a hit.
I know it is. I am an old soul. I'm
an old soul too. God damn it!
I
know that.
I literally have a tattoo of my favorite song on my fucking wrist.
Which is
Soul Shine
from
the Allman Brothers.
Okay, I feel like I should know that song, but I don't for some reason.
God damn it! The Islanders just lost.
Ah!
God damn it!
Oh, I'm sorry for laughing, but that makes me.
That hurts.
So hold on a second, though. Hold on a second. Did you just go to an Islanders game sometime this past week or so?
Dallas, yes. Fuck, that hurts.
They win or lose that game?
They won in overtime. Damn it, that hurts.
But so, and you went with your girl, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you got to tell me a story about this girl here. How'd that happen?
Here we go. This could be good. So,
Because I remember you were. This is again. I'm trying to bring up any bad memories here, but I remember you
You're
dating
good.
somebody else, and then I started seeing a different girl. So I was just like, "Oh, got another girlfriend."
yeah.
What's the story there?
So we met. She reached out to me on Facebook. Like I completely forgot
Facebook dating or Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook dating. I completely forgot Facebook
Okay.
dating existed
I
until
forget
I
it
was
exists
on
too
there.
until I get a fucking notification about it every now and again. But continue.
So we started talking, and then she's a pastry chef, and to imagine her fucking delight when she found out about Donut, my cat, who is, I don't know if you can see, right there.
Right. I am. It's the sunglasses. Hold on.
There she is.
Oh, I think I see the cat. Okay, there's the cat.
Donut. There you are. You're still awake. That's good. Anyway, so
We gotta make
yeah,
sure the cat's
imagine.
still awake.
Yeah, imagine her delight when she found out about Donut. So we started talking, and then I think it was the day before our first date, or like the day of. I I kind of Britney Spears myself and shaved my entire head.
Why?
I don't know.
See, what was her reaction though? All right, so here's what I need to do. Obviously, you guys been together a while, so like obviously that didn't scare her for any reason.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Hold on, I'm gonna give her a call if she's still awake. This is gonna be great.
Oh God, we're getting a
This is
live
gonna be
reaction
hilarious.
here. Oh fuck, this is completely gone off the rails, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna be great.
Oh fuck.
She's still awake. She might not be. This is gonna be funny as shit. Nope.
No, nothing.
No. Wait.
Hi, you've reached me.
Nope.
Fuck.
Damn it. But she was horrified.
And she still went out with you? That's
Yeah.
rude right there.
Well,
I can't pull that off.
oh, just have great personality, bro. You're fine. You got a good personality.
Well, thank you. Well, honestly, Love and I don't get along very well. I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
let's be fair here. Let's get deep again.
okay, so and then we started talking, and then we just hit it off, right? And then we just hit it off. And then she met Donut, and then the rest is history. Just kidding. Well, the best. If I were to get Mr. Stanio Smooth himself out into the room, I would probably say, just be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else you don't want to be. You don't want to be, or you want to be. And make her laugh. Cook for her. You know how to cook because you're half Italian. I'm Italian myself.
I can cook some things. I can't cook a lot.
And that's fine. Hey, that's a start. That is a start. But
my mom doesn't let me in the kitchen.
that answers that question. Mike can speak from Mike is married. He could also speak from this as well. Just have a great personality, make her laugh, be there for her. She'll be there for you. And then just whenever that moment comes where, to quote a friend of mine, he said it, not me.
Okay.
Unless some God-loving, gun-shooting, America-loving, bitch-ass woman enters your life, dime piece of a woman, stay the fuck single.
Well,
love him.
I will also add that how to keep a woman happy, or at least get her to love you. Just know how to eat pussy. That's it. Just do that. I don't know what you hit. I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear the Old Spice whistle?
No.
Damn it.
All right. It's not. I hear it a little bit, but it's not coming through.
Fuck. Damn it.
Either way, it's the truth.
It is.
Eat pussy.
It is the truth.
Eat pussy. The woman will love you. I'm not saying nothing new. Nothing new.
No,
here.
you're not.
The problem is
You're
most. The problem, you know what? You know how fucking. You know what? Let's get a little dirty. Let's get a little dirty. You know how
Learn
fucking
to make
weird
her
it is?
happy.
Yeah,
Learn to make her happy.
And how to make her happy is to eat her out and know where the clit is. How do not men? It's 2024, man. Figure out where the fucking clit is. What the fuck's wrong with y'all? I don't get any ass. All right, I don't get any ass, and I know this shit. Last time I got ass was fucking shit. A little over a month ago now was the last time I got laid, and before that was almost 4 years ago.
And here is Jedi Master Staniel Smooth entering the room. There's no piece of ass more important than your own.
Yes, to get deep about that, you're right. You also have to find the right woman that wants to eat it.
We don't kink shame here.
Hey, listen,
Well, we have
you
Nah.
you know what podcasts I used to be on.
yes.
This is nothing new for me.
This is nothing new for you.
This is nothing.
This is nothing new for the Mysh man.
nothing new for Undercover Brother.
Nothing new.
Undercover Brother lets women sit on his face. That's all I have to say.
Iron Throne, more like the Skin Throne. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my best and apparently worst pickup line, according to many of my friends.
Oh, Robert Frank.
Rob hates my fucking guts for this. Rob hates my guts, and our friend Megan, who's on the Glorious House Against podcast, also fucking hates me for this sometimes. She laughs at me when I say it, but it's because it's funny. Every queen deserves a throne. Just let my face be yours.
I mean, points for effort.
Listen,
There's
I
no
know
hate there.
I'm a man that knows what I want, and what I want is for an attractive woman to sit on my face. This is nothing new.
This is nothing new. This is nothing new.
Listen, did I ever tell you this story? You might know this story because if you listen to the old podcast, but in 2022, when we went to the Exotica convention, me and my former co-host, I decided to go to a seminar that involved face sitting. And when they said we want volunteers, whose hand shot up immediately? This motherfucker right here. So then I proceeded to have a scantily clad, I wouldn't say obese, but very thick black woman with a
The Nantucket sleigh ride.
with a humongous ass. Granted, it was like a little crater, admittedly. Sit on my face. And there was a couple times where I had to like tap her on the ass, be like, I can't breathe, bitch.
I have a story for you. I feel like you would love it. We'll end this on this. So I admittedly back in my earlier days of dating that I was a bit of a chubby chaser because my excuse has always been I can't hug twigs.
Which is fair. Yeah, everybody's got a preference. It's not my preference specifically, but I appreciate the fact you're honest about that.
Which is fair. But there's something called a Nantucket sleigh ride, which means three things.
This is a fucking Urban Dictionary thing, isn't it?
No.
Oh,
what it is, a Nantucket sleigh ride means three things. One, it's a great song from the 70s by Mountain. Phenomenal. Okay. Mississippi Queen.
Okay.
That's Mountain. But great song. But a Nantucket sleigh ride is also when you're riding a wooden boat, and it's from the old days of whaling. And you ride the boat and you harpoon the back of a whale, and the whale takes you for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
That's number two. The third meaning is when you rail a fat chick from behind. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Doo-da.
But you know something? Listen.
I'm not wrong.
Fat chicks need love too. It just depends on who wants to take that,
The leap
who
of
wants
faith.
to take that leap of faith. I am not one to typically take that leap of faith. Not saying that I dislike fat women. It's just not my preference, with all due respect to the ladies.
It's all good.
But sometimes, I will admit, sometimes there are some BBW adult stars that I would fucking love to take on that Nantucket sleigh ride if I had an opportunity.
You're gonna use that for now on, aren't you? That's one of two things we're gonna use.
Itch, I might.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the stream here for BS Session Volume 37. Mysh, man, appreciate it always, my man.
Love you, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Love you too, big man. And I appreciate you for telling your story and getting real as we always do here on BS Sessions in the dojo of bullshit.
It's been fun, man. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you. It's been a while since I last saw you. So
it is,
it's
man.
It's been good. So if I may, can I plug a couple of things? If
Go
that's
for
all
it.
right with you.
Go for it.
Bromigos Podcast on your favorite podcast streaming platforms. We also have a YouTube channel that we post the video version of the podcast on. So please check that out and subscribe. We hit over 100 subscribers in the last week or two. So that's dope. For me personally, follow me on Twitter at RealMatt0626, and you can subscribe to my own personal YouTube channel as well as my Twitch channel, which is Edge0626.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Smooth. I'm coming to you from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York. And I will see you all in this life, most certainly the next one. Cheers, guys.
God bless.